What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full sharpness ability Pokemon team. There are only 4 Pokemon out there with the sharpness ability. There are quite a few moves you can use to boost the sharpen ability. So the slicing moves getting a power boost by 1.5 times. What I did is I used every single sharpness move on these 4 Pokemon that you could actually get, and I put them onto one team. I've got 4 battles today with the sharpness ability team, and I hope you enjoy. First battle here, this is on the, these are random battles on the Poke Portal. This one is, again, I think it was Pollux, and we have a Pelipper lead. So I've got Kleavor as my first Pokemon. We got Stone Axe, Fury Cutter, Air Cutter, and Sword Dance. So it's a mix set. So we've got max attack and max speed, naive nature. Ability is sharpness. Item is metronome. So we're trying to get those Fury Cutters going. We've got Terra type a bug. So setting them rocks up and clapping that penguin. Next Pokemon is Overquill. It's going to be sliding in here. It's got the Swift Swim ability outspeeding me and setting up a layer of toxic spikes. Now, I'm going to go for Stone Axe again because obviously it's going to do the most damage here. I almost took it out. I was very, very close. Now the Overquill is going to set up a second layer of toxic spikes. I'm just going to go for an Air Cutter, disrespect here, and that is going to take it out in one shot. Beautiful. No special attack IVs at all. Now, the next Pokemon coming is going to be Basculegion. This thing is absolutely broken. It's going to go for a liquidation. It's got Swift Swim, I'd say, because they're outsped. And that is the end of my Kleavor. I've got 3 more Pokemon left. Next one is going to be Veluza. So we've got Sand Slash. Sorry, Slash, not Sand Slash. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Gen 1 today. We've got Slash, Aqua Cutter, Night Slash, and Psychic Cutter. I'm leaving that in. I'm not even editing that out. Only on PIMPNITE. Shut up. So this is a max attack and max speed, adamant nature. Ability is sharpness. Wow. And we've got the item as Scope Lens. So in comes Kyogre, and this thing is very, very scary. So I got a Night Slash off, which got some really, really good damage there. I was actually hoping to get a crit, but it never happened. And now Kyogre is going to be going for a Thunder from Down Under, and that is the end of my Veluza. This thing is very, very threatening. Their team is absolutely stacked. So the next Pokemon I can possibly swap in here is going to be Samurott. I've only really got 2 left. This Samurott is a physical set. So we've got Ceaseless Edge, Aerial Waste, Razor Shell, and X Scissor. My item is going to be Assault Vest. I've got max attack and max speed, adamant nature. So I'm thinking to myself here, well, I've got Ceaseless Edge. That should be able to take it out. Here comes another Thunder here. I just live thanks to the Assault Vest. Here it comes, Ceaseless Edge, and Kyogre lives on 1 health. You wouldn't read about. That was so lucky there. I'd say I definitely got minimum damage. So that is the end of my Samurott. They're going to go for a Thunder again, and bye-bye Samurott. All I've got left is one last Pokemon, and they still got lots of sweat here. So I've got my Gallade. Yeah, my Gallade with sharpness. So we're going to swap this in. It's a terrible, terrible mix set. We've got on this one Agility, Air Slash. Air Slash does get a sharpness boost. Sacred Sword and the Leaf Blade. I've got Sharp Beak as the item, and I've got max attack and max special attack, naive nature. So here comes another Thunder. I'm assuming they're going to be choiced. I went for an Agility. It's like, I wonder if I'll be able to outspeed them with an Agility. I don't have any speed EVs except for my nature. I took a little bit of toxic damage here, and now Kyogre's going to outspeed me with Thunder, and it missed, and I managed to actually get that attacking move off and take it out with a Sacred Sword. Last Pokemon on their team is Basculegion. I guess they didn't go full scumbag and bring 6 Pokemon, but man, they still brought a very, very sweaty competitive team. We got Basculegion here. I know that I can take Basculegion out with a Leaf Blade. It's going to be like doing a lot of damage here. However, it does have the Aqua Jet and finishes off my Gallade. I think it might have been a different story there. It definitely would have been a different story if I took out the Kyogre with my Samurott, because then I would have had Gallade versus Basculegion. It could have been quite interesting. Anyway, a pretty interesting battle. Let's get on to the second opponent here. I'm not really sure my opponent's name here, trainer name, but this battle was very, very strange to say the least. Like, you'll get to see why. So my first Pokemon, of course, is Kleavor. I'm going to be going for a Terra on the first turn. I didn't normally do this I don't really like to do this very often, but I thought I could try and go for a Fury Cutter sweep. Now, I managed to get a Kleavor sweep Would you like to see it, people? It was a pretty interesting video, to say the least. I don't think I've ever done a Kleavor sweep on my channel, so I hope you're excited to see that. If you are, I think I might put that up during this week. Let me know if you want to see that, or if you really want to see it. Let me know there. But I think I'd see some more Pokemon having sharpness in the future. There's only 4 of them. Actually, there's quite a few other moves that boost sharpness, like Population Bomb is one of them too, and some like other moves, but they're not learned by any of these Pokemon. There's quite a good list of moves. There's actually quite an interesting ability. So this is like a bulky iron bundle, and it was max defense and max health for sure, like to be able to live that attack, which is really interesting. Now they try to stall me out with a Substitute and Whirlpool set, which is pretty interesting. I'll give them that. It is a pretty interesting moveset here. Then what they did is they actually, at this point it really confused me, because I thought they may try and just sack it off, but they swapped it out. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's going to faint. Maybe they're going to leave it for later on. And then they brought in the Glimmora. So we all know what Glimmora is going to do. I'm going to try and get a Fury Cutter sweep here. I've got the item as Metronome too, so that's going to be very, very handy. So Terra Bug, Fury Cutter plus Metronome as I, consecutively use it. So we've got some Toxic on the field and Toxic Spikes, and the Glimmora unfortunately has the red card, which is very, very sad, but it's all good. I might be able to use my Kleavor later on. So in comes Bolton Veluza. I can go for a Psycho Cut here. It is super effective, and that'll do some very, very good damage. To anything that really swaps in will be nice. So that is going to be the end of the Glimmora there. Glimmora is still going to be able to lay that second layer of the Toxic Spikes on the field there, but that's okay. I sort of expected that anyway. So that is the end of the Glimmora, and Iron Bundle, well, that's gone as well. So technically I've taken 2 Pokemon out. So in comes Rotom Watch here. I know it's going to go for some sort of special electric move, so Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. It's going to go for a Volt Switch, and that is the end of Veluza. I'm not really sure if that's Choice Specs or Choice Scarf at the moment, but I might be able to deal with that later on. Next Pokemon is going to be Heatran. So I'm like, all right, well, I could at least swap in Samurott here. I've got the Razor Shell, which is going to be hitting it very, very hard with that boost. So I've got some speed EVs on this, and I'm wondering if I can outspeed and take it out. I'm going to be going first there, and the Heatran gets dropped in one shot. So that's very, very good getting rid of that. All of my other Pokemon, I'd say they might have struggled there, especially with not very many fighting. Maybe only like Gallade or something like that. Next Pokemon, of course, is the Rotom. Rotom's going to go for a Volt Switch here, but they did underestimate the bulk of my Samurott having the Assault Vest. So now something's got to come in here, and they were lucky they had their Iron Bundle to swap in there. Most of the time, that would have probably been a dead weight strategy, just swapping out there with, I don't know, like an entry hazard on the field. But that definitely did help them out for sure, so they didn't take any damage from Ceaseless Edge, and they also dodged those spikes too. Next Pokemon is going to be Landorus. I just went for my Razor Shell again. It's the best I could do. I outspent them, and that's going to hit very hard, taking it out in one shot. So Samurott is completely dominating their team at the moment, which is excellent. Also, they brought 6 Pokemon too. So they've got Rotom Watch left and 1 other Pokemon, and of course it's going to be a legendary Pokemon. I won't even guess what it is. So now they're going to go for a sub here. They're trying to stall out my Samurott here with a Toxic. I just went for Ceaseless Edge, and that's going to obviously break the sub there, which is going to be good. And they don't have Choice Scarf. So, okay, they've got the sub, so it's not going to be Choice Specs and not Choice Scarf. So I'm kind of curious, what item it's going to be. So I managed to get a layer of spikes up there, which is pretty good. And Samurott's going to take some more toxic damage and faint this turn. But Samurott did an amazing job there. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I've got the Kleavor, and I've got the Gallade. So I swapped in the Gallade. I thought, well, I'd say they're probably going to attack this turn. They probably won't use Substitute. So they did use Substitute. Like, okay, fair enough. Well, I can go for Agility, and then I can attack their Substitute. So Gallade's going to get a free Agility up here. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to, well, I won't be able to outspeed a really fast Choice Scarf Pokemon because I've got max attack and max special attack. Then they swapped out their Rotom. Like, they did it again. But this time they don't have a Pokemon to swap in. I don't think it's going to be useful this time. So in comes a Kyogre, just like the last battle, and they're going to set that rain up. So I went for Sacred Sword on the swap there. Good damage to Kyogre, almost taking it out. So this sounded like, well, I'm outspeeding Kyogre. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for a Disrespect Air Slash. So we're going to get that boost from Sharpness on the Kyogre. Kyogre goes into Terra Grass. It's going to be super effective. So Kyogre is going to take the full force of the Air Slash, and it lands, it doesn't miss, which is good. And that is the end of Kyogre. Now, the Rotom was the last Pokemon they had, and there was Stealth Rocks on the field. I'm thinking, I don't think they had enough health left to be able to live Stealth Rocks in this case, right? And Stealth Rocks is going to take it out. So that is the end of the battle. That was such a strange ending there. They really messed themselves up with that Rotom swap into the Kyogre. I think I would have reigned victorious anyway, but it was a pretty interesting battle there, to say the least. Let's get on to third battle. This one is against Kalis. I nearly said Kayla there. And we got a Psyduck lead. The mighty Psyduck. Also, people, if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy the theme teams, you enjoy the uploads, make sure you hit that like button. Helps support the channel. Only takes half a second, if that. And make sure you get my videos in your recommendations, all those hoops you've got to jump through. So Psyduck is going to be getting taken out by a mighty Psycho Cut. It was a Everlight Psyduck, by the way. It took the first hit pretty nicely. Next Pokemon is going to be Wugtrio, the absolute unit. It's gone for a Sucker Punch, and Veluza has lived. Veluza doesn't really actually live too many hits at all, so then again, that's Wugtrio for you. So I'm going to get Gooey there. It's a very gooey fish, and that is the end of Wugtrio. Next Pokemon is going to be the Venomoth. I'd say Venomoth probably would have outsped me anyway. It's going to go for a Bug Buzz, and that's the end of Veluza. I didn't really want to swap out there because I've only got 3 other Pokemon, and I thought, well, Veluza sort of already took out 2, so that's pretty good. Next Pokemon is going to be the Kleavor. Now, also, people, I'm going to tell you what my plans are for the DLC coming up. I will mention this when I'm closer to the date anyway, but I've got probably about a couple more theme teams I want to wrap up before DLC, so I reckon about 5 or 6 theme teams I want to do, maybe a few Pokemon sweeps, and then I'm going to be doing the DLC live. But I will mention that too. I'll be doing the whole event live, and it'll be like lots of fun. So I hope you come out to that stream there. And thank you to everyone that's been coming out and supporting and coming watching the streams. I really, really do appreciate that for sure. Be very interesting. Also, that new T Pokemon today, like that. I guess you could call it a convergent of the Sinistea, an interesting sort of Pokemon, a Matcha T. So anyway, back to the battle, sorry. We had a Ditto transform into Kleavor, and they missed their Stone Axe. That was such an important moment for that battle, and I was very, very lucky that actually happened, because I'd say that would have fated me. So in comes the Venomoth, and I'm going to take it out with a Disrespect Air Cutter. Things are not going well for my opponent now. Next Pokemon is going to be Bluebor. I read that as Booblor. All right, anyway, I'm going to go for a Fury Cutter here, and we're going to try and get the Fury Cutter sweep happening. However, the Blue Crab is going to be able to take me out there with a massive round of Rock Blast. I don't know whether that was a loaded die set or if it was just like lucky 4 in a row, but regardless, Kleavor is going to faint, so I've got 2 more Pokemon left. Now, the next one I want to go into is going to be Gallade. And I should be able to get my agility up here and then, start using my other moves. So I went for agility, I outsped the Claw. Claws must be not, that must not be max speed, because I outsped that with nothing virtually. So now it's going to go for an X Scissor. That does alright damage, and I'm going to be able to take out the Claw with a nice super effective Leaf Blade. So there's only 1 more Pokemon left, and that Pokemon is going to be Lycanroc. I'm like, oh, I've got the type advantage here for sure. I wonder what it's going to do. So now they're going to go for a Endure, bracing itself. So they obviously want to be on 1 health, or they want to eat a berry or something like that, or activate an item. I didn't see any weakness policy, didn't see any berry. Now they're going to go for a Terror. I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder whether this is going to outspeed me to start with, or I wonder what it's going to do. It's going to be Terra Ground here, and it's pretty much I can use any attack to actually take it out. I outspeed with Air Slave, and that is the end of the Lycanroc. Not so lucky. I wonder what strategy they were going for. Now I'm curious what they were going to do. Anyway, I did a little thrust there with Gallade, and that is the end of the battle. Taking Kalis for the battle. That was a rather interesting team, but very, very bad when the Ditto missed the Stone Axe. That pretty much spelled doom from there onwards. Next battle, this one is against I'm Ran, and we have a Slaking lead. I'm going to go for a Air Cut on the Slaking. Slaking's going to unload a Thunder Wave. I'm like, oh, okay, Thunder Wave Slaking. I wonder what they're up to here. So the Slaking is going to be loafing around this turn like a loaf of bread. The item the Slaking has got to is Leftovers. So it's going to make it a little bit more bulky. So It's going to be truanting this turn, and my Veluza is going to get an air cutter off. So I'm doing pretty good damage there, but I'm not getting any crits at the moment. So it's probably not going to be enough to take it out. Maybe in the next turn, I might be able to take it out if I get a crit. Now Slakey's going to go for a Mud Slap. A Mud Slap Thunderwave Slakey with leftovers. That's very, very bold. I can see what they're trying to do there. What they're trying to do is to make up for Slaking's like loafing around and, you know, rely on paralysis and misses. So not a bad combination, but very, very hard to pull that one off. Very, very gimmicky, which is cool. So now I'm going to get paralyzed this turn. We got a Purgin coming here. Purgin's going to go for Covet. Now, Covet does consume your own item. However, it's not going to be able to steal my scope lens. They're going to have to use Covet the next turn. So unfortunately, I didn't grab my item there. Here comes a Last Resort. So Covet Last Resort set. And that's going to definitely be the end of my Veluza. Last Resort's a very, very powerful move. So swapping in the Gallade here. Here comes a Last Resort from the Persian. Almost takes out my Gallade. Very, very close. I'm just going to pop it off there with the Sacred Sword. I didn't want to risk running any agilities because Persian's a very fast Pokemon too. Next Pokemon is going to be the mighty Jigglypuff. I've unloaded an Air Slash and it's thick. It's very, very bulky. It's a Sing set. And I wonder if that was, I don't know, I guess it probably had Everlight because that Air Slash did nothing, then again a Special Glade, but I believe that was like an Everlight set, but I wonder what the Jigglypuff Sing strategy actually was. Sweet Gums, the Greninja's going to go for a Dank Pulse. That is going to be the end of Gallade there, so maybe it's like a flinching set. I'm not really sure. So Hi-Fi team is now going. We're going to go into Kleavor here and see if we can get rid of this this Greninja. Now, I've got the moves here. Fury Cutter. I might be able to actually go for a Terra Bug and then start unloading the Fury Cutters here. But I was like, well, I don't know if I want to use my Terra here. Maybe I should wait for the right moment to use it. Sometimes, a lot of the time when you use it early, it can come back to backfire you. Greninja absolutely destroyed me with a Hydro Cannon. I'm like, man, that's very bad. So my last Pokemon is going to be Samurott. So at least I do have one turn of like a recharge there. I can actually go for an X-Scissor, which is super effective too. So I was like, well, I could go for a free Ceaseless Edge and then get a Spikes up. I was like, no, I don't want to risk that, right? Because you never know, like bad things could happen. So I went for the X-Scissor. That is going to be then of Jim, the Greninja. Now we've got 2 more Pokemon left. I think they brought 6. Yeah, they got 2 more left. So I'm going to do my little Samurott Roar there. And the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Camerupt. This is actually pretty cool. So the Camerupt is 4 times weak to water. And I'm thinking, well, Razor Shell is going to dominate this in one shot. So I'll be able to outspeed and take it out. Unless they got a Sasha or some sort of like Terra to change its type up. I actually quite like running a certain type of Terra on Camerupt due to its weaknesses. And I was thinking, maybe they've got that. So here we go. We got a Terra straight away. And I was like, I bet you they've got Terra Water. That's one I'd love to run on Camerupt, and they do. I like how the water sort of comes out of the volcano too, like a little, I guess it's like blue volcano. So watch this, right? I went for the Razor Shell. It was not very effective, and they had an Absorb Bulb as the item. So baiting out a water type move, boosting the special attack of the Camerupt, which is pretty cool. Now they're going to go for a Terra Blast Water here. I don't think they've got any other attacks that are going to do much damage to me, but it actually did pretty good damage considering I've got an Assault Vest. So I could go for any move here. It could be Ceaseless Edge, or I say Ceaseless Edge. I could go for a Terra Water here as well. I may as well because it is my last Pokemon. So changing my type up there, so I'm just pure water. That way I'll be, I'll resist like pretty much a lot more things there. And I'm going to go for Terra Water. I've also got my hat on, my clown mode hat on too, but it doesn't look as cool as Camerupt. It's not like a billowing volcano of water. I guess it could be like hot steaming water coming out, like a steam eruption, I guess you could say, like a Volcanians move. Anyway, that is the end of the Camerupt there. I'm going to be setting up my layer of spikes. Which is good. It's a very, very good move. Last Pokemon is going to be the Kubfu. I don't know what sort of team this is. This is like the only Dwight I can think of is DBD, but I don't know. Anyway, so Kubfu is going to get destroyed with like Aerial Waste, and that is the end of the 4th battle. Hope you enjoyed the Sharpness Ability team, people. I'll be out with some more videos and sweeps tomorrow and the next day. Peace out.